Did you understand the example? So this example is falling in
So
which
can you
distribution?
repeat your question, please?
Is question visible to you?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Read once.
So if a committee has 7 members, find the probability of having more female members than male members,
Of having
given that the probability
then
of
male
having a
members.
male or a female member is equal.
Hmm. Let us suppose there are 7 members in a committee. So when you say that the committee is having a more number of female members, hello?
Sir, when the number of females are 4 or more than it.
4 or more than that, right?
Yeah.
Who said this?
Sir, Abbas.
Abbas, right? 4 or more, that means you need to identify what is the random variable, say x. You tell me now what is the random variable you are going to define on this? What x exactly represent in your mind?
So, number
So
of
the random variable will be the number of females out of
So
7.
you mean to take the random variable x representing the number of
females.
number of females in the committee, right? So number of females in the committee, then what values that x can assume?
So 4,
4,
5,
5,
6, or
6, and
7.
7.
Who is saying 4, 5, 6, 7?
So Paras.
Paras. Okay, Paras answer is x can assume 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So is x assumes only 4, 5, 6, 7 or anything else that can assume?
So only 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Who is now confirming again?
Sir, Aman.
Aman. Okay. So what I said, x is a random variable, right? Hello? X is a random variable that denotes the number of females in the committee, right?
Yes, sir.
So when X is the number of females that in the committee, is there a chance that the entire committee will be filled with only males? Is there chance or not? A committee can be formed with all males. Is it possible or not?
Yes, sir,
But
can be
we don't have
possible.
to consider that case.
So if one second, if there is a possibility of committee having all male members, in that case, what is your X?
So 0.
So it is going to take 0. Is there the chance that a committee having 6 males and 1 female?
Yes, sir, can be possible.
So is there chance that 5 males and 2 females?
Yes, sir.
Is there chance of 4 males and 3 females?
Yes, sir.
And so on? Then in such a case, capital X, that is a random variable which you denote the number of females, okay, will take the values from
0 to 7.
0 to 7, remember. Capital X assumes the values from 0 to 7, okay. So now what probability you want actually?
So having more female member than the male
That means
members.
having more female members means probability of
X. So probability when X will be 4, 5, 6, or 7.
means that greater than or equal to 4, right?
Yes, sir.
X can take 0 to 7, remember, okay. But as far as concerned to the question, probability of x is greater than or equal to 4 is what? Okay. So before that, I just wanted to know that, okay, we identified that x is a random variable that may take certain integers like 0, 1, 2, and so on, 7. Now, clearly, is it a discrete random variable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when it is a discrete random variable, so what additional information you know from the question? When you are going to select a person at random, a person can be male or female, right?
Yes, sir.
The
Yes.
probability of selecting a male or female is having equal chance. Probability of selecting a female is representing the probability of success. Then p value would be
So P equals to
0.5.
0.5. So how many number of trials here you are considering? Means that how many number of persons you are selecting to form a committee with 7 members? The answer is there in that itself. For a 7-member committee, you need to select 7 persons, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means n is for each trial, for each selection of a person, do you have only 2 outcomes like as male and female?
yes, sir.
Only 2 outcomes. So therefore, it is coming under binomial distribution, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now x is a random variable. Follow a binomial distribution. Before that, x can denote the number of female members in the committee. Follow a binomial distribution with n is equal to 7 and p is equal to 0.5. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And what probability we wanted to find? Probability of x greater than or equal to 4. Now, what is the answer you have? Can use R tool or statistical tables which are already there on this Teams, or you can use Calci, anything, and provide the answer. What is your answer? We need to given n is 7, little p is 0.5, x follows binomial distribution where x takes the values x such that x will take the values 0, 1, 2, and so on up to 7, follows binomial distribution. Now we wanted to find probability of x is greater than or equal to 4 is the answer you are getting. Hello. You have answer? Probability of x greater than or equal to 4. Can I write something like 1 minus probability of x strictly less than 4? As it is discrete, 1 minus probability of x strictly less than or equal to 3, right? Now, what is the answer? Aman? Bus? Anmol? Anybody who is there in the session?
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, I'm facing network issues today, so I'm
Okay.
like your voice is breaking and I'm not able to see the screen.
Okay. Right.
So just a
Suppose
second,
other-
sir. We are
Okay,
calculating,
right.
sir.
Okay, good. P of x less than or equal to 3 means you need to find 1 minus, if you are going with the general probability distribution, P of 0, that is x is 0, remember, minus P of 1, that is x is 1, minus P of x is 2, minus P of x is 3. Right?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer?
Sir, I guess it's coming 0.5.
0.5. You are guessing or calculated?
So after calculating,
Hmm.
I'm getting 0.5.
Your answer is 0.5. Okay. Whether you calculated using R or Calc or whether you refer the tables, which one?
So calculated by using calculator.
Okay. So anyone is trying with R program?
Sir, I'm using the tables. It's
Okay.
0.5.
So using tables, you are getting as 0.5, huh? So using calculator, you are someone
sir.
getting as 0.5. Let us see what is the syntax that we need to use for cumulative probability in R program, particularly for binomial distribution. D binom or P binom? D for distribution, P for cumulative. Okay. P binom.
sir.
So 1 minus P binom. P binom of x less than or equal to 3 we want. So this is 3 comma n is 7 comma P is 0.5. What is the answer?
0.5.
So those who are getting the answer, this probability as 0.5, their answer is right answer. So what does it mean? Then there is a 50% of chance that the committee is having more than the that the committee is having females more than the males. Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So likewise, you need to carefully read, understand the question, okay, and then start answering. Of course, I'm not writing the distribution as you are aware. that bx np equal to ncx p raised to x into q raised to n minus x and so on. That point you can do that in the examination. Okay. Well, so you are clear, right, on this question now?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, well. As we completed binomial in the lab session earlier, so we don't want to worry much on this part.
So
Let-
please show the R code again.
Yes, sir.
Is that fine? Hello?
Yes, sir. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, all right. Next. Can you look at this question? A recent national study showed that approximately 55.8% of college students have used Google as a source in at least one of their term papers. Okay. Final examination papers. Let X is the number of students in a random sample of size n equal to 42 who have used Google as a source for their term and examination papers. How X is distributed? Can anyone answer the first question by understanding this given information? Which distribution X follows? Hello? Am I audible to you?
Sir, it will follow continuous, sir.
Continuous distribution. Who is saying continuous?
So Paras.
Paras answer is continuous. What is the reason that you are saying that it is a continuous?
So
Paras?
because it is given approximately 55.8% of college students.
So average, normally average or percentage, is it not something like in proportion or? So even in the committee also 50% of a chance is there for male or female occurrence. Do you think that that is continuous?
No.
Why here you are thinking? You need to understand what is random variable here. X be the number of students, right? This
Yes, sir.
number represent always a discrete or continuous.
Discrete, sir.
Can you say that 1.2 student?
No, sir.
No, right?
All right, sir. I got it. It will be discrete, sir.
So root 2 students will be there? No, right?
No, sir.
So we won't say like that root 2 students or root 5 students or 1 plus root 2 students. So it is a discrete. Which distribution X follows now based on the given information?
So probability mass function.
What is probability mass function? You need to
Yes,
sketch
sir.
the probability mass function. What probability mass function it is following? Mass means it is a discrete basically.
Yes, sir.
Which distribution X is follows? Whether it follows binomial or Poisson or normal, which distribution it is following? You select a student. So you may ask him whether you have used Google as a source to appear for the term and examinations or not. He may say yes or no, right? Hello? Break the silence. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So if you are selecting a guy and asking that whether you have used Google as a source for the term and examination or not, then he will reply that like whether he used, say yes, and not referred Google as a source, then he may say as no. What are the possible outcomes? Yes or no type, right?
Yes.
So there are only two possible outcomes on this. So how many number of students you selected to ask this question? Hmm?
42.
N is given as 42, right? So you selected for N is known. Now in this, the approximate proportion of college students who have referred the or used the Google as a source is 55.8%. That means 0.5588 P probability of success, right?
Yes, sir.
Now this X is following
Binomial distribution, sir.
binomial distribution with N is
With N is 42 and P equals to 0.558.
558, right?
Yes, sir.
So you need to sketch. So let us take N is now 42, P is 0.558. Okay. It is observed that X follows binomial distribution, right?
Yes, sir.
So X is distributed binomially. So that means you need to find out the distribution of binomial to answer the question 1. D binom of, let us suppose, what is the domain of X now? It starts from
1.
1 or 0?
So it will start from 1 as 0 cannot be a student.
None of the student is referred Google as a source, then X is 0. The number of students who referred the Google as source, that is the random variable, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So is there a chance that none of the students who participated in the examination referred the Google as source?
Yes, sir. Can be possible.
Then in such case, X can't be 0.
Yes.
It is also 0, right? Possibility is there or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So X starts from 0 and maximum it goes up to
42.
42 means N. Okay. Now Q1, how X is distributed. So D binom X P X N P. Well, so I am going to round up these values to 3 decimals. Now you can look at the values of Q1 now, the distribution. Okay, the 43 values here. So this is Q1, how X is distributed. So the distribution is shown now. What is the second point? We need to sketch the cumulative distribution function. Sorry, sketch the probability mass function roughly. So means that let us go for plotting of x versus q1 of type linear. What do you notice? Interestingly, what is the type of the curve you are now looking at on the screen? Hello? Be active, all of you, so that I may get you the quick response from your end. Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
the appearance of the curve looks like
Parabolic.
parabola. Parabola will be like this.
So symmetric about a vertical line.
Okay. It is not exactly symmetric, but seems to be symmetric nature. But any other behavior shape you are, can you coin the shape? Something this?
Bell shape.
Approximately bell shape. Do you agree? Is it
Yes, sir.
approximately a curve which is like normal? In the last session, I
Yes,
have
sir.
shown you that normal curve, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the reason as what is
Yes.
the n we consider now? N is large enough, right? 42. You imagine what is the sample space? 2 to the power 42, where it goes? Very big number, right?
Yes, sir.
So here in the case of binomial, even if it is crossing 15, we may take sometimes, you know, it is large enough. Okay. So now when n is 42, it seems that approximately following normal distribution, right?
Yes, sir.
That's how the normal approximation to binomial is already shown some time back. I think it is there on the uploaded material also. Okay, right. So we have plotted, and next one is what? Q3. We need to sketch the cumulative distribution function roughly. So cumulative distribution, if you wanted to plot, so what the expression for cumulative probabilities? What is the syntax that we are going to use?
C binom.
C binom or the one which is already highlighted on the screen?
Yes, sir. P, sorry.
P binom, B binom. Okay. Now say Q2 I want, no, sorry, Q3. Q2 is plotted, Q3 cumulative binomial we want. So I suppose to use P binom, rounding to 3 decimal. I'm going to plot of this cumulative binomial probabilities. Let us look at the graph. How it seems to be? Something like as an integral symbol S type.
Yes, sir.
See that from here to here, the curve is slowly started rising. Then from here to here, the sudden rise is there under the cumulative thing. Then after again saturation level is reaching, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. What are other questions we have? Find the probability that x is equal to 17. How do you find the probability of x is equal to 17 using this R program? Probability of x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Probability of x is equal to 17. What is the answer?
0.017.
So let us verify the same thing using D binom syntax. D binom, probability of x is equal to 17 we want with n and with the given n and p. What is the answer? Is it the same as 0.15? Sorry, 1.017? And the one which I showed earlier. These two are same?
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, so likewise, finding the probability of x is at most 13. What probability you need to estimate? Probability at most 13. So P at most 13. At most.
X less
Less
than
than
equal to
equals to 13.
Less than a. So then whether you are going to use a D binom or a cumulative binom, because you wanted to add it from 0 to 13, right?
P binom.
So it is good. Someone said P binom. Who said?
Sir,
P
Anushka.
binom. Right, right. Good answer. P binom. Now up to 13 we want P binom of 13 with the given n and p. What is P13? 0.001. Up to 13 like this. All the value till 12 it is 0. Then 13 it is 0.001 something when you are rounding, right? Cumulative the values up to this, is it 0.001 approximately?
Yes, sir.
Right, right. Next, we wanted to find probability that x is bigger than 11. Bigger than 11 means?
X greater than 11.
X greater than 11 this time, remember, not up to 11. So when x is greater than 11, then it is probability of x is greater than 11, which is equal to probability of 1 minus
So 1
probability of
minus x less than equals to 11.
right, less than or equal to 11. So you can use P binom syntax to get this answer. 1 minus P binom up to 11. What is P11? It's almost 1, right? 0.49, right? Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right. Next question, say find the probability that x is at least 15. At least 15 means? In symbolic form?
Greater than equal to 15.
Right. X is greater than or equal to 15. Can you answer likewise?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next, eighth one, find the probability that x is between 16 and 19, comma inclusive. What does it mean? What is the probability that you need to estimate actually here in symbolic fashion? Probability of?
So x between 16 and 19, which will include 16 also and 19 also.
That means probability of 16.
X greater than equals to 16 but less than equals to 19.
The probability of 16 less than or equal to capital X less than or equal to 19, right?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
then this is something like P of A less than or equal to B less than or equal to C or B form. So you can use what is that probability of 16 less than or equal to capital X less than or equal to 19, then this can be written as the probability of capital X less than or equal to 19 minus, tell me what is that next expression, probability of,
X less than equals to 16.
who is saying this answer?
Sir, Aman.
Aman,
So
whether 16
X
should include in the,
greater than equals to 16.
who is saying greater than or equal to 16?
So Paras.
For us, both answers are not correct.
So less than 16.
Less than 16, sir.
Less than 16. Less than 16. Someone can explain why up to why it is less than 16?
Sir, because you have to include 16.
Yes, you have to include. Basically, as per this formula, what probabilities are included? Say P of
16, 17, 18, 19.
right 16 plus P of 17 plus P of 18 plus P of 19, right? If I'm writing P of X less than or equal to 19, it includes the probability from P0 to P19, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
When it includes P0 to P19, but we want only from P16 to P19, what we have to subtract from this 0 to 19 case? We have to subtract from 0 to
15.
15. That means X is strictly less than 16, right?
Yes, sir.
So this you should be very careful. Whereas in continuous case, there is no problem. You can write as Px less than or equal to 19 minus Px less than or equal to 16. Nothing wrong in continuous case, as P of X less than or equal to 16 is same as P of X less than 16. But in discrete, you should be very careful. Okay. Understood the expression? Using cumulative binomial probability, that is P binom, you can estimate these two and find the difference. You can do that, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So now give the mean of X, which is denoted by expectation of X. What is the mean of X? How do you get the mean basically? What is the formula for mean?
So sigma fx by f.
Where is the frequency here?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Huh? Frequency is there?
So
No,
mean
sir.
is NP.
Huh? NP someone said. Huh? So before that, what is the formula for finding the mean or expectation of X? Expectation of X formula. Summation
R into P.
times the corresponding probabilities, right?
Yes,
P
sir.
of X. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Then mean is equal to, so we have X, it starts from 0 to n, and then corresponding probabilities we have Q1. Let us find out the multiplication of sum of X into Q1. What is the mean we are getting? Hello? The mean of the binomial random variable with the given data is observed as 23.398. You are already aware that NP is also mean. N times P is what? Both are almost same. Why there is a small amount of error is noticed? Did you know the reason? Between NP and the mean. Hello? Why there is a small difference here in the decimal? Can you guess? No idea?
No, sir.
Is my screen visible to you?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible. So no idea, sir, why this error came.
So what are the values in Q1? Binomial probabilities, but these binomial probabilities rounded to
3.
Third decimal places.
yes, rounded to third decimal. But because of that round off to third decimal is contributing 0.1 plus error, remember, in the calculation, right?
All right, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if you are not rounding, then mostly the NP and mean will be almost same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. So next one is you need to find the variance. How do you find the variance?
So N into P into Q.
That is one thing. From the general formula, expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you want expectation of x square, say VR is equal to sum of x square times Q1 minus mean square would give us the variance of the binomial random variable. How much it is?
10.7896.
So using NPQ formula, Q we did not define, so Q is 1 minus P. This is same again, the difference causing because of the round off error. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Well, so if you know the variance, then you can easily find the standard deviation by taking the square root of the variance and many other things. So now whether you are clearly following what is binomial and how to get the binomial probabilities. Hello, using our
Yes, sir.
program and visualizing binomial probabilities and its cumulative probabilities, everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, now let me go for normal distribution. So you are already aware of normal distribution probabilities, the two syntaxes which we are using, D norm and then P norm. For the inverse, we are going to use Q norm. Okay. So well, now let me take one simple question in the normal distribution, and then let me see the area under the normal curve. Okay, how to visualize the area under the normal curve. Yeah. What is the question here? I think in last class I showed you an example, right? That filling the fuel, the mileage. You have that example. So sketch the area under the normal curve for the above probabilities. This we already computed. How to find the more than 75 miles and between 55 and 80 miles, right?
Yes,
the
sir.
number of miles x that a person will travel on 1 gallon of petrol is approximately follow normal distribution, right? This question we answered in the last session, right?
Yes, sir.
Sketching the area is left. Using our program, let me sketch that. Okay. So here x is follow approximately x follow approximately normal distribution with mean 60 and standard deviation 10. Well, let us take x arbitrarily. It is a sequence. Little x I am taking x is a sequence. Starts from 0 to say 100. For this, the length, let it be 500. Now calculate the distribution of a normal, say dn, which is equal to d norm of x, d norm of x with respect to the mean and standard deviation 60 and 10. You'll have 500 points, data points in this. You just go on visualizing whatever the graphics are there. First, you can do one thing. You just close this figure windows, existing figure windows. Now, let us go for the plot of x versus distribution of normal. X versus distribution of normal of type is equal to, within the inverted code, linear. Are we getting a bell-shaped curve? Almost
Yes.
smooth curve. Almost smooth curve. Is the curve is seems to be smooth, or sharp edges are noticing? If any sharp edges are noticing, you can increase the length in order to get the smoothness. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So don't close this normal curve as of now. Let me go on finding the required probabilities. So we already know what is the probability of more than 75 miles that can give the mileage with 1 gallon of petrol in the motorbikes. Okay. Now let us, more than 75 miles. So now I'm going to take a variable, again, say x. It is a sequence from more than 75 to, I created the x up to 100. So 75 to 100 with a length, say something like 150 points. Right. Now I'm going to take something like dn again. dn is equal to d norm of this latest x, the mean 60 and the standard deviation 10. Okay. Right. Then after
Yes.
I'm going to use polygon syntax. What's the syntax that we are going to use? Polygon. Of a columnar vector C. So here 75 x, 100 and C of 0, something like dn, 0. With a color, I can show something like as blue. Any error which you are noticing on the screen after typing this syntax?
No, sir.
So what it exactly represents this polygon? It will start constructing certain polygons. Remember, what is this C of 75 x 100 represent? Because you want sketch the area more than 75. So the x you generated is between 75 and 100. So x domain is now 75 to 100. Remember, okay? And the corresponding distribution you have taken between 0, 0 and dn. So the lower limit of that distribution is 0, and the bounds are given something like this. Okay, let me look at what is the image we have right now. Look, the shaded blue color region is the probability that x is greater than 75 miles. Do you clearly notice that this is shaded from 75 to 100 with a blue color?
Yes, sir.
So what is the proportion of this under the normal curve? How much proportion it is? So that is a probability of it is simply P 75, more than 75, remember. So it is 1 minus P norm of 75 comma 60 comma 10. What is this P 75? 0.06, approximately 7% of chance that this how much area it is occupying under the normal curve. The proportion is 0.06. If it is 1 unit under the normal curve and above the horizontal axis. Okay, so this blue colored shaded region, how much proportion it is occupied? Approximately 0.0668. Okay. Right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So am I showed how to sketch the area under the normal curve now? Anyone having the doubt on how to sketch it now? Shading the appropriate proportion under the normal curve. Any doubts? If you have no doubts, then what is the next question that we need to answer? So between 55 and 80 miles, if it is between 55 and 80 miles, so now I'm going to take x once again between 55 and 85. 55 and then 85. But this 85 is beyond 75, na? So what I'm going to do is I supposed to close this existing figure window. Then newly I supposed to create once again the sequence starts from 0 to 100 with length 500. Then d norm of x with 60 and 10 as standard deviation. Then I'm going for a plotting of this plot of dn. Even you can add the color here, say something like red color curve you are noticing. Okay, then you start creating a sequence between 55 to 85. Let it be length as 150. Then again find the d norm. Right. Then you can just go on to the polygon syntax. Here the domain is now 55 to 85. color you want, you can take something like a green color. Go on, see the picture what you have. Is it from 55 to 85 is shaded with green color?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, is the tool is quite easy to shade the appropriate portions under the normal curve with these few lines of code. Hello?
Yes, sir, it is.
All of you understood? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Then this file is already available for your practice. This file, you can practice the other sums. And now I would like to explain in brief 1 or 2 examples on gamma and exponential, so that we can complete this module by tomorrow's session. Okay. All right.
Yes.
You noted down what is gamma distribution in the last class, right?
Yes, sir.
This is gamma. And if you put alpha as 1 in the
Have you
gamma
looked at
distribution,
these
you will get
notes?
exponential. If you put beta as 1, you will get standard gamma distribution. If you are going to replace x by beta, then you are going to get incomplete gamma distribution. Okay. These are the 3 special cases which are already there on this material. Let us take a simple example to understand the beta, gamma, gamma and exponential distributions. In exponential distribution, as I am substituting alpha as 1 in gamma, then the resulting expression would be 1 over beta into e raised to minus x by beta, where x and beta are greater than 0. Some authors, what they do is they may by default assume 1 over beta as something like lambda, then it is lambda times e raised to minus lambda x, right? If 1 by beta is assumed as lambda, can I say that the exponential distribution is something like lambda times e raised to minus lambda x? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that also is given here. So if we assume beta is 1 over lambda, then fx beta will become fx lambda. This is also considered as exponential distribution. Okay. But where if you consider this distribution, the mean is beta. Okay. Whereas if you consider this distribution, the mean is 1 over lambda. Okay. Right. As beta is 1 over lambda, if you are going to consider this, the mean would be 1 over lambda. Right. Well, the cumulative density function of exponential distribution is given by probability of capital X less than or equal to x equal to capital F of x with the parameter lambda is given by 1 minus e raised to minus lambda x. This can be obtained by integrating this function up to x and substituting the limits. Okay. Now, the interesting question we have here, suppose the survival time capital X in weeks of a randomly selected male mouse exposed to 240 radians of a gamma radiation has a gamma distribution with alpha is 8 units, beta is 15 units. Then what we need to find? probability that the male mouse is surviving between the 60 to 120 radians of gamma radiation. Okay, 60 to 120 rads of gamma radiation. Okay, and probability of X is more than 30 rads of gamma radiation. These two we need to calculate. Given that X follows gamma distribution with parameters alpha is equal to, what is the alpha? It is given 8 and beta as 15. Alpha as 8 and beta as 15. So may you recall what is gamma distribution? 1 over beta to the power alpha, in the denominator itself gamma of alpha into x to the power 1 minus alpha into
So alpha minus 1.
Alpha minus 1 into e to the power
E
minus
beta.
x by beta, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is gamma distribution, gamma of say x follows with alpha and beta parameters is defined as e to the power minus x by beta. So before that we have x to the power
Alpha minus 1.
x to the power alpha minus 1 whole divided by beta to the power alpha into capital gamma of
Alpha.
alpha, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what we want is, let us consider the incomplete gamma cumulative, consider the cumulative incomplete gamma distribution. Can you recall? This is probability of capital X less than or equal to little x is equal to f of say x comma alpha. What is this?
Sir, integral of 0 to x.
Yeah, something you will get, right? So I will
Yes.
stop here. So this is the same as basically as we have alpha and beta parameters. This is same as x by beta comma alpha, right? Your x is gamma following gamma distribution, not the incomplete gamma. So when you are converting this into incomplete gamma, this fx alpha is same as fx by beta comma alpha, remember. Okay. So what I am doing is this can be skipped because the given variable is in general gamma rather than incomplete. Okay. Now, what probability we wanted to estimate? The probability that the male mouse is surviving between 60 to 120 rates of gamma radiation. So probability of (60) less than or equal to capital X less than or equal to 120. This can be written as probability of X less than or equal to 120 minus probability of capital X strictly less than 60, right? So this is equal to probability of, yeah, as it is a cumulative, what I can do in the general this case, alpha and beta parameters, capital F of x alpha beta. What is x here? X is 120. What is alpha given that? 8. What is beta? Is 15 minus this is 60. Now converting this into incomplete gamma, what we get? 120 by 15 comma alpha minus f 60 by 15 comma alpha is 8. What is this answer? 120 by 15. Is it 8? Hello? Then 60 by 15, is it 4? Now we need to calculate what is capital F of 8 comma 8 and F of 4 comma 8. How do we get this? I'm just going to internet. Incomplete gamma function tables. That then. Actually, the page is here. This is what exactly we want. Somehow it is not loading it properly. Yeah. So what is F88? Is it visible to you? X
Yes,
is
sir.
8 here. X
Yes,
is
sir.
8 and alpha is here from 1 to 10. Alpha is 8. You find out the intersection. F8, 8, 0.5470. Is it visible? Can I? F8, 8, 0.5470, right? Hello? Understood? So this probability will be 0.5470, right? Well, then F4, 8. This is 4, and then 8, 0.0510. 0.0510. See the incomplete gamma function, integral 0 to x, 1 over gamma of alpha into y to the power alpha minus 1 into e raised to minus y dy. This is the incomplete gamma function. Okay. Now, what is the difference of these two values? Difference of these two values? Hello? Anybody there?
So 0.496.
0.496. Now, what is the chance of that the mouse is surviving between 60 and 120 radians of rads of gamma radiation? Approximately 50% of chance is there, right?
Yes, 49.6.
Yeah, 49.6. If you round to 50, nearest integral, then integral value, it is approximately 50%. Okay. What is the second part that we need to answer in the question? Probability of x is greater than or equal to 30. Probability of x is greater than or equal to 30. So this can be written as 1 minus probability of x is strictly less than 30. And after converting straight away into, first let me take the usual gamma. This is a 30, 815. Then incomplete gamma would be 30 by 15, 2, right? Which is equal to F2, 8. 1 minus is missing. Add 1 minus. What is F28 from the tables? F28. 0.0010. And this difference is now approximately 1, right? Or 0.999. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So it means that there is a 99.9% of chance that the mouse can survive at least, beyond 30 rads of gamma radiation. This kind of information will even help us in analyzing the, when we are started consuming various drugs which are going to fight against the coronavirus in our human body. So people are saying that if it is the virus may not survive if you are started inhaling, this steam, more than 90 degrees of temperature or something like that. People are claiming, right? You may be receiving sometimes in the WhatsApp messages, right? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So how they are analyzing? Through this kind of probability distributions. Okay. What is that survival chance? Up to what temperature it is going to survive, and what are the biological conditions of the body, and with that virus, how it is going to mutate with one body to another body is again matters. Okay. Correct. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, we will discuss the exponential distribution tomorrow. So do you understand how to find the probabilities easily from the tables?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So anybody having the doubts on gamma distribution or on the R program, what I explained in the today's session, binomial distribution, plotting of binomial distribution and normal distribution? Any doubt? Raise the hand signal, those who have the doubts. Hello. No hands raised. Seems that none of you are having the doubts on this today's session. Well, then thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Next
sir.
session. Yeah, someone is speaking. Garima or Aman?
No, sir, we're just telling.
Aman, you wanted
Thank
to say
you.
something? Thank you. Thank you,
No, sir.
Garima. Okay, right. So I'm going to end the session then.
Excuse me,
Well,
sir.
Yeah, Paras.
So give some information about the quiz.
Quiz, your friend said that 28th evening is they suggested. Is it okay, right?
Okay, sir. So timing
So
4 to
that
5.
timing will be, mostly between 5 to 6 or between 5 to 7 based on my examination duty of PT. Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right.